For the people we've been talking to in these programmes, the suffering they've been through has made them get angry, ask questions, and even shout at God. But it hasn't stopped them believing God is really there, that he's really good and really loving. They can even point to ways that God has brought something good out of what they've suffered.
When the door opened, I found myself the center of Tehran with all of my clothes, but I wasn't exactly the person who I was 45 days before. I passed through an experience really as a dying and dead. And again, I have a travel journey with Jesus. In that time, I thought I became stronger because now I am free and I tell, yes, I am Christian. This is me. And I want to stand here as a Christian. It's enough to hide and hide and hide. I want to be this. I want to shout and say to everybody, all of the world.
You might find this hard to understand or believe. I can almost say thank you to God for what happened, because my view of what I wanted to do is, when I was age 16, was join the Royal Marines. You know, I loved the outward bound life, and I loved running up a mountain with a rucksack and carrying a rifle was my idea of fun, and not many other people's, but that's what I wanted to do. And there was two of us went forward to the Army Forces Recruitment Office, and we were all sort of signed up to head down that path. And when I had my accident, and who knows where I might have ended up if that had happened, and I hadn't to break my neck. And as it was, I can see that God's taken me to from one place to another place where I've got a fantastic family, I've got a ministry which I love, had a fantastic job for a number of years.
It is hard, and I do get discouraged, and most of the times I'm on the ward in London. I'm on a biliary pancreatic ward, biliary pancreatic unit, with men who have largely had this disease through alcohol or drug addiction. Many of them are sleeping rough when they're not in hospital. And whenever I go to that unit, somebody dies on the unit. It's just a fact and a feature of this disease that almost always when I'm there, somebody in the ward dies. And during the night, when men are crying out in pain, and I'm sharing in that pain, I've often been asked about my faith and had opportunities to share in ways that I could never have had just going in as a chaplain or a vicar as I would normally do. In fact, I'd sometimes be on the ward and I'd see the men say, "Oh God, the vicar's coming," and they'd hide under their blankets, you know. But when we're both in abject agony, longing for the narcotics that will give us any relief, and yes, discouraged at what life has doled out for us, at that point, I feel that there's a bridge of contact with my fellow man where I can say, look, I'm a beggar, you're a beggar, I found some bread, let me tell you where I found it. And I found it in the Bible, I found it in a relationship with Jesus Christ. I found bread to help me and sustain me through the most discouraging trials in the last 18 years.
What he has done with it and how he's helped me help others, not only despite it, but because of it, in the reconciliation work in Northern Ireland, in all sorts of things. I get into areas a lot of people couldn't, and I tell them, how, in the troubles that is, why am I in here? How did I get in? And they say, because of your disability. So he has used it.
Same-sex attraction has also helped me to pastor people well. I think it's helped me to see and understand what human rebellion against God looks like, and to help people as they seek to end their rebellion and live life God's good way. So often I've been pastoring people, and it's been my experience of same-sex attraction that I'm using to help them as they go through similar experiences, all very different experiences. I found that since being open about my same-sex attraction, more and more people have come to me wanting pastoral help and insight, because they know that they're coming to somebody who also struggles to live the Christian life, who also suffers, and so is able to grasp what they're going through and their sufferings.
There's no doubt that it has made it easier to talk to other people about being ill. I'm not afraid of the word cancer, and I'm not afraid of the word dead, which a lot of people are. and it's given us many opportunities to pray with people and to talk frankly to people, even people at church. Even not so Christians don't like thinking about their own mortality. And of course it's given me a terrific interest in heaven and what it's really like.
Next time we'll ask our contributors what helps them to keep going.